everybody. Eric Wingman Peterson saying hello. This is episode 45. That's right, 45. That's almost a year of this show, weekly show. If you're new to it, well, this is kind of an inside look at everything Star Citizen and CIG, Chris's amazing vision. We're here to give you the inside skinny and get to meet some of the team members and see what's going on this week at Cloud Imperium Games. What do we got going on? Well, we got the week in review. We have forum feedback with your questions and videos. And there's a particular one I like a lot this week, by the way, Lando. We have Wide World News, which is tidbits from the world at large about space. And we have an interview with animator and mocap man, Daniel Craig. Who knew that guy was working here as well as on the movies? So let's get right to it. Well, first of all, week in review. You guys, as ever, sent some amazing gifts. Look at this.
Wonderful cookies arrived just during CitizenCon. We were so busy at the time we had no chance to actually acknowledge these, but we wanted to catch up and say amazing thanks to Blue Owl for these for meaty cookies from I guess they're from Philadelphia. Apparently they're really big in Philadelphia. Now they're really big in our office. This is the last 10. No one else knows I have this.
Hey Guto, you sent us this really, really cool gift.
And I know exactly who to give it to, so let's go check it out.
Hey guys.
Yo.
Chris and Mark, you guys smoke some cigars, right?
Absolutely.
Well, one of the citizens, one of the better citizens in the world, has sent us a box of Triad cigars. It's Guto, G-O-T, or Got2, and it says, thank you for the glorious job you've done so far and for all that's yet to be done.
What?
So, now that it's all over after the smoke up, drink up, and they see us in the verse. So, we got cigars right here for the... Well, get it on the hug. Come over the hug. Oh, Guto. We get cigars. Check them out, check them out, check them out.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Oh my god, look at this box.
The box is elaborate. Look at that thing. Look at those bad boys. We put a little thing in there for...
Holy moly. Oh, those are beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank
you guys rock.
These will go to good use.
Well, I think I butchered Go-To's name a few times in that, so my humblest apologies. Well, we're not the only ones getting gifts or doing things. Take a look at Travis Day in Santa Monica and his special day.
27 years old.
How does it feel?
You know, I feel so special. Okay, who wants a piece?
That is compliments of Alan brought that in, by the way.
No! Anybody else want some?
Well, that was really cool. And if you noticed, they were eating birthday cake, which, as I'm on my diet, I'm not able to do. So we've skipped a few segments of Wingman's Weight. But we're not skipping it today because, well, we're not. So, we started out, as you know, 236 horrible pounds. As of a couple weeks ago, we had made it all the way down to 215, that's right. But where are we now? 212! Yeah! The winger's back on it, man. We're working hard on it. We're gonna go all the way down to 185. That's our goal, and you guys hold my feet to the fire is a big deal. Thank you guys very much for that, and I know some of you have joined me on this quest, and I appreciate that. We are doing this together, just like we're making the game together. Kind of cool how that works, isn't it? Yeah. All right, we got new hires this week. We got Mike Jones, an IT director. He's going to oversee our entire IT operation, and with offices in Manchester and Santa Monica and Montreal and all over different places. He's got a lot to do. We're building the IT infrastructure because not only do we need IT for creation of the game, but we also need servers so you guys can play the game. And as we all know, things are coming up pretty quickly that will allow you to play together. So we need to have server architecture and support for that, and that's why Mike Jones was hired. We have David Hobbins. He's an artist out in Los Angeles. He's working for us now full-time. Oh my God. Los Angeles and Santa Monica are growing like a weed. Well, they're actually the same place. I don't know why I called them that, but Santa Monica's growing like a weed. They're actually the fastest growing studio inside Cloud Imperium. And so David joined us out there. Ooh, it's time for a new office update. I know you guys have been wanting to know what's going on, so, well, you know, we thought we'd finally show you.
Hi, this is Aaron Roberts, Foundry 42, coming to you from South Manchester. Just wanted to show you the office space that we're going to start working on in the next actually a couple of days. I'll give you guys a bit of an insight. So basically a bit of a look around here. We have This is the space. As you can see, it's in lovely disarray with stuff on the floor and everywhere. But basically, this is all going to be torn down. We're going to build it out so we can get to full production in the next 4 weeks. So, just an idea of following around. It's basically about 5,000 square feet. This area is going to be open plan, so we have all the guys in here doing production, so forth. We'll probably have a nice breakout room over there, and then we'll have some very important conferencing meeting rooms where we talk to the rest of the world to get everything achieved on the project. Anyway, just want to give you a quick brief look of this. Back to you, Eric.
So you see, I know you guys were probably expecting to see our studio update, but we wanted to get to surprise you and give you a little bit about what's going on in Manchester with Foundry 42 and Aaron and the boys. It's going to be really cool over there. Our studio update is ready to show. We just have to get the landlord to sign the consent form. What does that mean? We've all agreed on the terms. The landlord has finally agreed with their lawyer, or our lawyers have all agreed, so now we just need the landlord to sign something which says yes, because it's a sublease, and then we're in. So we're open end of this month, December, so it's very, very soon, and again, we'll bring you guys along for the ride. So hey, guess what? You know what time it is? That's right! Nosecam! Let's get this thing on here and go take a look around the office. Come on! Let's go!
Everybody walking. Everybody's busy at work. We're gonna go see Ted and no Ted. Elijah, where's Ted? Where's Ted?
I don't know.
You don't know? We know where Ted is. Ted's
dead, baby.
Ted's not dead. Ted got his teeth pulled today. Let's go in here to Mark. We're gonna go take a look at the style guide. Hey guys, what's up? Chris, Mark, what's going on, guys?
Where's Ted?
You tell me, where is Ted? He works for you.
Oh crap. Who? I'm sorry.
What?
Nothing.
Nice.
Don't look at that.
So what are you two up to? The citizens out there would like to know what's going on with Star Citizen. What is a style guide?
Style Guide's basically a visual bible of all the different art assets and basically how to follow from an artistic perspective the different cultures and races that we're dealing with, the different ship manufacturers, so we're sort of on a consistent sort of basis with all the different companies.
Okay, and now Ted's primarily working on this, but he's getting his teeth pulled today, and you guys are all working it with him. So let's show how it works, or I know we've been working on it a while, so it gets updated as we go. So explain how it works.
Well, basically, we have a Confluence page, which is a company-wide page that that everybody has access to, and in these pages, we decided to go big and then small. So we're starting with the bigger races, and then under the races we have like their environments, the weapons they use, the vehicles. Backstory on them, like the different things. So if you go to like the Banu section, there'll be character, environment stuff, weapons about like different things about specifically them that make them who they are. Like color palettes. We use like if you look here, we have like silhouette examples of like the different styles of silhouettes for each of what makes the races unique to themselves. This is really super handy for working with outside vendors and us, so that we can, just hand it off to them. They can read it, they can get backstory on it, they can get like instant visualization of what they're supposed to be working on. So
yeah, we don't want to clutter it too much up with like back fiction, because that's what other pages are for. But we sort of work very closely with David Haddock, our fiction writer, as we're developing the reference and the artwork and everything, and as he's sort of writing the backstory and everything. So a lot of times what he writes we'll get, and it'll sort of alter where we're going to go visually. And a lot of times like stuff we come up with will inspire him and the writing. So it's kind of a back and forth process.
And this is kind of important because we have a lot of outsourcers or people around the world working on stuff. So
Yes.
if they're going to build, say, a Banu ship or something, they need to know what others have done and what look and feel you've set for them as chief visual officer.
Right.
Hey, no, hey, put me down. You must have huge huevos.
Well, that's kind of an inside look. Thanks, Mark, right there. Thanks, Chris, right there. And thanks, Mr. Style Guide, right there. We would have gotten Ted on this, but as
Here in memory.
in memory of Ted, we've got it in memory of Ted.
Piss off! Get that camera off of me!
Ted is very happy that we have a style guide going.
Yeah, I know. Ted
He's ecstatic about it.
All right, thanks, fellas.
Loves working on it.
Nose cams. Tiny kitchen. Man, there's Ron and we're coming back and... Oh, hey, Rob.
Didn't see you there. All right. What's going on, Rob? Rob? Rob. What are you doing?
Apparently I got my calendar wrong.
No, you got your calendar right. You know what time it is right now, right?
Do tell.
It's not nose cam time. It's forum feedback time.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure this time. We're really sure it's forum feedback time. It's time for all of us to answer questions about the citizens. Now, we're missing one of our forum feedback buddies. Our wingman, one of our wingmans, whoever knows it, to the third removed or whatever.
The third Cylon.
Yeah, the third Cylon, right. So, Gary the Cylon or whatever. So, Ben is actually in Santa Monica this week, working with the marketing team and Chris out there doing some stuff. So, he's unable to make it, but we do have him for the MVP post because, just because he's not here doesn't mean he's not contributing. He's a big contributor. He's still here. But we can take it for now, and so we'll take forum feedback and go from there. So we'll start with question number 1 from 10. He says, can we have a clan tag decal logo on the ship's hull? Ooh, that comes up a lot. A lot of people want to know about that.
So there's two different sides to it. One, we are working right now on a new decal and paint system.
Mm-hmm.
So the technology should be there. Then it's just a matter of how we set up an approval process for that kind of a decal, because people will try to sneak in some stuff that shouldn't be there.
It's not just a decal, it's a decal. No, people put all kinds of stuff in their decals, and we have to make sure that it's, I think you guys know what we mean there. All right, from XXX, well, there you go. From XXX Gamer, how appropriate that came next. Could we physically fly from system to system without the jump drive if we wanted to? Also, can we jump out in the middle of nowhere, or do we have to jump to a predefined jump path?
Well, here's the thing. These systems are very, very far apart, so the jump gates are necessary. Otherwise, you'd be flying for hundreds of years, which, I don't know if the servers are going to last that long. We'll try.
Yeah, they are going to last that long.
We're going to try. As far as jumping into random locations, no. Jump gates go to one place in each direction.
And we're not rendering the dark matter between systems, so if we could just let you drive. I guess we could procedurally generate dark matter, which is not interesting. So
empty space for
30 hours until you reach the next jump system. So no, that's not going to happen. All right, we got a video, our first one from Salomon Anubis Grimm.
I do own the Caterpillar, but the Constellation is, I fear, my biggest ship. Would I then be able to use the Constellation in my asteroid hangar?
That is a good question and a good video. And
it's a good video.
It's one of those things that a lot of people want to know. So,
the asteroid hangar is designed to be at least as big as the deluxe hangar, so it can hold any of the ships that are in the deluxe.
There you go. Well, that's cool. Good. I'm sure that's good news for a lot of people. From Town Mutt, Towyn Mutt. I was curious if there are any plans to include unarmed ships, especially civilian vessels, for purely mercantile transportation or exploration purposes.
So like shuttles and stuff?
Well, we know we're going to have shuttles and
buses. We're definitely going to have shuttles.
But what about, I think he's just talking about mercantile,
like
unarmed.
Just wandering around in an explorer vessel with no guns?
I don't know about explorer vessel, but
sitting duck.
That's true enough. It's probably the ship that Chris is going to make me drive around in. Probably like a big pink bunny or something out there.
We're gonna nerf your guns.
I know, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to get a secret account just so I can build that up. So are we gonna have them out there? You know, some
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, they're not first on the schedule. Right now, we're working on the things that are more important, which are ships for the players that they've already pledged for, and then ships for Squadron 42.
Right.
But yeah, there's a shuttle involved in Squadron 42, I believe. So
cool. From DANAKAR ENDEEL. If the second seat of the Avenger will be removed in the player version, will we be able to access the cockpit through the cargo hold and vice versa? Ooh, I think, you know, before we answer this, I think some of the fans out there have actually shown us how we could actually do that.
They did.
Take a look at that. That looks pretty cool. Look how it's going there, man.
It's almost like he can see the future.
It's almost like he can see the future. So the serious answer to that question, though, is...
Yes, that's something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Because the answer here says, you betcha. Which, you betcha. From Heartsblade. Ooh, haven't had a Heartsblade one. Now, this video's been in the can for a while, and we have videos that you guys send in. And by the way, that brings up a point. When you can we always grab every videos each week. So no need to repost the videos. We will have those in a section. And once we get to the point where we can answer that question, we will get to it. So that's what's happened here with Heartsblade. Take it away.
Hey, Wingman, Heartsblade here. With the new Hornet release setting the standard for all future ship releases, I'm wondering if we'll see any Freelancer variants before the LTI cutoff on November 26th.
Yeah, that's a good question. We get a lot of questions about that kind of stuff.
A lot of that question.
And unfortunately, the answer is no. But we would not leave people hanging. If I understand this correctly, the way we're going to deal with this is we're going to allow you to have, when the variants come out, you'll be able to buy a badge or an upgrade for any type of ship, and your LTI will transfer from the hull. So if you had a Freelancer that was sitting there and we bring out a variant for it that you really, really want, you can buy the upgrade on that particular hull that has LTI, and that will transfer over. So you'll still be able to get it, but, you know, just buy have 10 Freelancers.
Just in case.
Just in case. Not redact that, because there's not going to be 10 variants of the Freelancer.
Maybe we'll be able to tell them how many variants are before the deadline.
Yeah, maybe that'll happen. But, you know... I
have to get that cleared.
Yeah, that's true. So, but that's how that's going to work, and that's a good question. It generated that answer, so you don't have to worry about, you know, not being able to get that on the variants, because you just have the hull, upgrade your hull, and there you go. From One Good Dog. Can the cargo hold option on the Ghost Hornet be applied without sacrificing any of its stock stealth equipment? That's a pretty technical question. This is a good technical question.
It's an excellent technical question. Okay, so the cargo hold goes in the ball turret hardpoint on the Hornet. So since the Ghost currently doesn't have anything in the ball turret mount, it's just got a lid, basically, they could put the cargo hold on there. Now, the only cost stealth-wise is your profile increases slightly with that cargo hold on top. But other than that, no, it wouldn't take away any of your other equipment.
Cool. Well, there you go. So from Ralph, will cargo be mass and size? For example, will some cargo need a constellation or bigger due to its size of the load, even if it only weighs 1 ton? Does size matter?
Size matters.
Perhaps we should ask the wives and girlfriends out there. Or not. Does size matter in the cargo in space? I know, it doesn't get any better.
I've lost my train of thought. So, yeah, a ton of feathers is obviously a lot more bulk than, you know, a ton of lead, for instance. So, yeah, I mean, the cargo descriptions on the ship stats are giving you a general idea of how much that ship can add to its mass before it struggles. But, yeah, the volume matters as well.
Okay, so the mass matters, but also he was also asking a question about size as far as...
The volume of the containers.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be both, right? So there might be some containers that only can be carried by the larger ships.
Yep.
So size and mass matters. Doesn't it, Mike?
So I've heard.
Okay. From Gray Lobo.
Hello there, Wingman. Gray Lobo back again. I got a question for you this time about what to actually go into the cargo containers. Cattle will be getting into new worlds, and surely we'll need to settle them with some of our own native creatures. So I wondered, will there be cubed cows, polygoned poultry, or even square swine? Again, I thank you for your time.
Wow, he's nice camera work, Gray. We brought that in. And by the way, he also had alliteration with cubed cows, polygoned poultry, or squared swine. So, are we going to have...
Calling weird space critters?
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends on if the artists want to build weird space critters and animate weird space critters.
Well, we already have fish.
Fish hauling.
Fish hauling!
Confirmed.
So, and by the way, I don't think you could have a cargo with air holes for the poultry to breathe in space.
No, they'd have to rely on the system that you also use to breathe in your ship, so, you know.
Exactly. All right, but we love that video, and we love the camera work there. Good job. From Solomon, when will we be able to see the upgraded ships in my hangar? I, and probably many others, can't melt my package, as I would lose my physical items otherwise. Melt my package, quite joke, holding off.
No, don't do it.
So, he says he can't melt his package because he doesn't want to lose the physical items, and I completely understand that. So, what are we doing there?
So they're actually, we are working on a hangar update that will allow you to see the upgrade packages applied to the ships.
There you go. So, yeah, it's coming. From Canisra, can companies on existing planets go broke? Ooh. Can they go broke?
Yeah. I mean, the economy is meant to be a simulation, so if they can't get what they need or they can't sell what they produce, then eventually, like any other business, they'd go under. So, yeah, then you can have a nice cobwebby factory building sitting around for someone to buy.
Ooh, cobwebby factory to buy. Are you sure about that? We're not going to have to redact that later.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
I've been wrong once.
Haven't we all? From Craven.
I'm part of an international squadron that has formed around Star Citizen. Many of the members come from the US and some from the EU. Will I be able to play with my friends in the persistent universe without having to go separate ways on 2 different servers? Can I play with my American friends in the persistent universe and have dogfights with people from EU servers so my ping doesn't impact how I'm able to fight? Thanks for taking the time to answer all questions. This is Kraben, signing off.
Well, that is a good video, and it's a really, really pertinent question.
And a frequent question.
It is. It is, because I think it's frequent because it's important that people want to know.
Yeah.
So the answer to that is TBD. I mean, essentially, that is why we're doing the dogfighting multiplayer. That's why we're doing dogfighting things. We want to work with you guys and find out just how many people can dogfight and where and what server, what lag times you need to effectively have a dogfight. And that's some of the stuff you guys are going to help us figure out. So, whether you can be in England and then have a friend in Australia, not saying any English and Australians get along, maybe over a match of rugby, but that may not work because of the physical distance, but that's to be determined based on the testing we'll be doing going forward. So,
and some of the less ping-related items might work better, like social stuff might work better across the pond.
Good point.
But
yeah,
dogfighting is a lot.
Might be tough. It is, because Chris has always said it's a skill-based game, so it's going to be important that we keep people equal, at least on that level of things, to where then their skills matter.
Yeah.
We don't want somebody with a lag trigger being able to have advantage, in their instance. All right, from VADER. Will we be able to purchase Star Citizen concept art such as Mr. Elijah's for use as in-game decoration via a banner or poster of sorts to hang in our hangars or some kind of personal apartment? Also, might we see concept art, lithographs, prints sold at some point? Ooh, that's a good question.
Big question. So 2 sides to that question.
Yeah, sure.
The hangar decoration stuff. That's an interesting idea. We're always looking for new things to put in there. There are things that we're working on that lead up to expanding the hangar. So,
right.
But yeah, we might eventually put some concept stuff in
there.
We've
bantered a little bit about people being allowed to put their own, like having a slot or 2 to put their own artwork or something in there, and that might be a way to do it. Also, what's happening with that is any type of personalization of your hangar at this point, we're waiting on what we call client-side persistence, because right now the way it works is you log in, you put your account name in, it goes to the database, grabs your data, what you have, and it populates your hangar based on what ships you have and what stuff you have in your account, and it's all set up in a preordained manner.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're going to have it to where you can move stuff around, probably through the MobiGlass or some other interface that we're going to allow you to set your hangar and personalize it. But right now, since every time you log off, it just vapors, and then it pretty much does it every single time, we need client-side persistence, and that is coming. And by the way, if you want anything to be sold, like any of this cool artwork, physical goods, the best place to put those is to put that in the forums. Put that out there. We at Cloud Imperium read those forums. Our marketing department's all over that kind of stuff. They're always looking for your feedback. So the best place to have that answered is probably on our forums. All right. So Svan says, if you don't pick a question someone sent in for a specific episode, is there any point in asking the same question for next week's show and the one after that?
And so on.
And so on. But that's true. We kind of answered that earlier where video questions, there's no need to repost those because we grab them.
We
but
keep those.
You can repost
We open a new forum thread each week.
Yeah, every week. That's the way it works. Every week we drop a forum thread out there and say, hey, what questions you have? And then, so if you want to get your questions not answered, then put it in there. Now, if it's been 3 or 4 weeks or, there's a lot of questions. To be honest, there's 150, 200 questions, and we really only have time to answer about 20-ish a week.
Yeah.
10 to 20, somewhere in that sweet spot. So we may not, it takes us a while to get through them. And some questions are so big that they need the man himself to answer.
Exactly.
And so we push those over to the big man's desk, and that's generally where a lot of the nexus of the comm links come from. Chris will take those and write a big post because they're just really important to what we're trying to do. And then Ben will put it together and put it up online, and that's where a lot of the letters from the chairman and Death of a Spaceman, all that stuff is generated from is your question. So if we don't get to your question here, you'll probably get it answered eventually. So keep putting them in there. That's how we get our stuff. That's what makes this show great, is you guys. From DAMO, other than no LTI, what would you have done differently if you had to do it all over? Wow. Oh, that is a loaded question.
It is. It's one you have to kind of walk around very carefully.
No
Wingman's way?
Yeah, no.
Accountability, man.
I know. Actually, I probably would still do that. I mean, I honestly cannot think of much that we would do differently.
No, we probably would have had me host the show. And,
yeah, other than that, we'd have had you host the show.
Maybe Mike.
Mike, maybe we could have reversed roles. Right. I could be in your spot.
I could never fulfill your shoes.
That's how the man keeps his job. No, I don't think, not show related, but right. I think honestly, part of this process that Chris has put in place is that we want to engage and work with you guys in building this game. And so it allows us to make the right decisions earlier in the process. So I'm not sure we changed much of anything.
No, I mean, I wish I had been here sooner, that's all.
Yeah.
I missed out the first party.
You did. Now, and we're going to stub our toe a little bit along the way, but, you'll help us correct it, and, we'll go from there. And so I think we just keep doing what we're doing, and I think that's kind of the fun part of it.
Seems to work.
Yeah. From Ladwin the Ant, he says,
I'm famous.
I think they just forgot the N in front of that. Infamous. So, but it's a cool question. So, there's a lot. There actually was a lot bigger part of this question, but we couldn't answer the first part yet. So, what do you think about the defense platforms around space stations?
So basically, we're still designing some of the mechanics of personalizing locations and space stations and things like that. But as far as defending it, you'll certainly be able to, have your friends there to defend it, or hire NPCs to defend it, and maybe we'll let you float some platforms out there on the perimeter. You don't want to clog up an instance with a bunch of defense platforms so no ships can get in there.
Yeah, but that was what was happening in his video.
Yes, that's exactly what was happening in his video.
You got to give him credit for using the freelancer video for that.
It was very nice.
Right, and now it's time for the subscriber questions. Some subscribers make this show possible. We want to make sure that we get enough of their questions in each week. So here we go from Fabian Winkler, a subscriber. Thank you. Will we see star systems with different colored suns that also change the color palette for the whole system and landing locations? Will the sun color influence the color of the vegetation in the landing zones? Wow, that's interesting.
It would happen. It's realistic. And what are we? We're realistic. Yes, one of the things we do when we're defining system is talk about its star. So we are aware of that. We're aware of the different colors and everything, and we keep that in mind. And of course, we have all these experts who do lighting and effects and everything.
Yes.
So yeah, you put a star out there that's a different color, you betcha it's going to change the lighting.
And we're going to set dress. I mean, that's kind of what we just showed the style guide earlier. So we're going to kind of, that's one of the things that the style guide is for, to help planets and everywhere else be, set dress correctly to where it fits into where it's supposed to be.
Oh, is that what you were doing when you left me in here?
I don't know what you're talking about. From Kanan, also a subscriber. Thank you very much. Are you currently looking into any multi-factor authentication technologies for website client authentication, i.e. tokens, biometric, etc., etc., etc.? Wow, that is a really technical question. What do you think, Rob?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Cool.
We have stealth programmers.
Stealth programmers, yep. From Pet11111, a subscriber. Will different weapon manufacturers have different color shots for their energy weapons? Ooh.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Pink lasers.
Pink lasers.
So it might not just be based on the manufacturer, but yeah, we're going to have a lot of variations in the effects for the weapons, shields, all of it. You'll have some idea of what's coming at you. Mostly the different technologies change the shape of the effect as well as the color, but the different companies will have some differences.
So you'll be able to see some residual shots and maybe know what's being shot at.
Exactly.
What
kind of trouble am I in?
Right. You're right. The more astute people out there that are playing will get to recognize that stuff and be able to. Yeah, cool. All right. So from Disco Lando, he's been sending some videos in, but I don't know how to describe this one. Just take it away.
Good morning, Wingman. This is Lando. Disco Lando. And I heard you say in last week's Wingman's Hangar that you weren't ready to answer my other video questions. It's okay, baby. We can take this slow. It's my first time, too. Anyway, this week I'll ask about your plans for communication options in the finished game. Now, we've seen people mention the possibility of integrated voice communication and even an avatar-based webcam system. Have you made any decisions yet on how we'll be able to communicate in-game? Talking to people as an avatar could be useful. See, without an avatar, my identity is exposed. But with an avatar, I can be anyone I want and say anything I can. Are you an angel? Because I feel like I'm in Cloud City. Now, Disco Lando has never had trouble talking to the ladies, but with an avatar, I can be free to truly express myself without fear of embarrassment. Hey girl, you put the hot in Hoth. Hold on there, you've just Obi-Wandered into my heart. What? Lando shot first? I don't think so.
Oh, I love the creativity of some of the people out there. That was some funny stuff. So, but he had some good questions there. What communication options are we looking at? What are we gonna do?
Well, there's still a lot of discussion to be had on that. We've discussed VoIP. We've discussed. We certainly have talked about things like Live Driver and all that, where you can see your face
yeah,
talking,
absolutely. The avatar, that's going to happen.
So your avatar will be able to look somewhat like you.
You mimic your face,
Plus, we've got the face scanning technology, so characters may even look like you,
like Disco Lando.
Like the
Disco Lando? Lando.
Lando.
I keep wanting to say Martin Landau. It's Disco Lando.
I don't know why you want to say that.
I don't know, because I think I'm still creeped out by Creeper Dev earlier there.
That was a lot.
I know. So there you go. Wow, good form feedback. And now, all the way from Santa Monica, where it's time for this week's Most Valuable Post.
Hey everyone, welcome to MVP Most Valuable Post. I'm here to tell you what the best post at the Star System forums was this week. Helping me is Sivar, the Karathi god of war. I'm here in sunny Santa Monica where Chris Roberts and the rest of the team are working hard at the dogfighting module and other aspects of Star Citizen. It's been a great week working with them and we've gotten a lot done. But onto the forums. This week's post can really only go to the Star Citizen musical by Lady Caterpillow and High Admiral Blue 6. I think the reaction that everyone on the team had to seeing this was something along the lines of, what? I don't think we can even show it to you because it will set off the copyrighted music alarm, but it's amazing. You guys go check it out. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Eric.
Wow, that's cool. Congratulations to Lady Caterpillow and High Admiral Blue 6. Those are two of my favorite people that I got to meet in Germany. Really, really cool that you guys got the most valuable post this week. Well done. Love that stuff. All right, now it's time for the Wide World News.
November 3rd, 1979, and Mariner 10 is lifting from Cape Canaveral atop its Atlas Centaur rocket booster. Destination, Mercury. But first, a flyby of Venus for a quick photo op. Mariner 10 will be the first spacecraft to visit 2 planets during a single mission, and the first space probe to use gravity assist to change its flight path, slingshotting around Venus, deeper into the gravity well of the Sun, to its rendezvous with the innermost planet. Mariner 10 will take thousands of photographs of the 2 planets, revealing for the first time the details of Venus's mysterious atmosphere and Mercury's moon-like surface. With its onboard magnetometer, Mariner will discover Mercury's metallic core, a surprising 80% of the planet's mass. The space probe's radiometer will read surface temperatures ranging from 187 degrees Celsius on the day side to minus 183 degrees Celsius on the night side. Orbiting the Sun at roughly half the speed of Mercury, Mariner will have 2 more encounters with the planet before it will run out of maneuvering fuel and be shut down by its NASA minders. Cast adrift, it will still be orbiting the Sun centuries from now. Mariner 10, giving mankind its first detailed glimpse of our inner system, sister and brother, in space.
And of course now, it's time for our very own existential break with Mark Skelton.
If a mute swears, does his mom wash his hands with soap?
Wow, there you go. That's Mark. And look, everybody, it's Daniel Craig.
Hi.
You look completely different in person.
Yeah, a little bit. The mind control device Brian strapped on me.
Yeah,
helps.
that's what it is? It's a mind control device? Now, that's not true. Well, by the way, I think yours is bigger than mine.
Yeah, but I like your color better.
Thanks. So size does matter. So what is that? What the heck do you have on your head? What the heck is that?
So this is one of our head cams we do facial mocap with.
Okay.
And we just got them in, so we're kind of playing around with them.
Cool. So now, facial mocap, what's that mean?
We record the actor's face while he's performing to get all the... sorry.
It's okay. I know it's very nervous to be on a show watched by 5s of people.
5s of people, yeah.
So, now, what's it do? What do you do with that?
Yeah, so we record the actor's face during his performance, and we give that data to another company, and then they help us with the facial acting in cinematics, for example.
So when we're doing our cinematics, in essence, we can block out a scene like in real life, and then we're also capturing the eye lines and everything else in real time at the same time as capturing the motion.
Yeah.
So
that's why we get the good actors, right? So we can get the facial animation too.
That's completely right, and then we'll get. So that's part of full performance, which you guys out there have helped us do. This is kind of the rig we're going to do. You can go ahead and take that off if you want to. So
yeah, it's a little hot.
It's a little hot, yeah. Can you get it off?
Yeah, there we go.
Cool. That is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
It's 3D printed.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's made with a 3D printer. I
Yeah.
mean, that stuff is amazing these days.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, so am I. I'm 3D printed. I just need them to shave off a little bit of the front there. So you're half German.
I am. Mom German, dad American.
Now there's a story here because your mom watches. She's one of the 5 people out there watching right now.
Yes, she's kind of stalking us pretty much. She told me a couple weeks ago that she was watching Wingman's Hangar, and I asked, and she said, "When are you going to be on there?" I'm like, "Well, I'm working remote because I was still working outside of the office at the time."
Because we're crammed into this place like sardines.
Yeah, so I told her, "Oh, I'm not on the show that much because I'm out of the office." And she said, "Oh, well, because Eric said," I'm like, "Eric, you know," so he's like, "The Wingman." She's telling me, "Oh, the Wingman, Eric."
I'm big with moms all over the world.
So she told me most of the show pretty much. I didn't. She knew more than I did.
That's awesome.
So she was like, "Yeah, make sure Eric puts you on the show." I'm like, "All right, I'll do what I can. I'm just glad to have work."
Now, are you gonna tell her this week that you're on, or are you just gonna let her be surprised by it?
I think Facebook pretty much took care of that. I think she'll know.
Okay, cool. Now, the funny part about that is you worked remotely for a while, and while we set up the mocap studio, you run that for us. We'll get to that in a minute. But you actually, when we finally brought you in the office, you took someone special's desk.
Yeah, Chris Roberts.
Yeah, Chris Roberts' desk.
I borrowed it.
You borrowed it. That's right. So there are times when Chris comes into our office to work here with the team, because he's always traveling around to the various teams. You have to work remotely that week.
Yeah, I'm politely asked to.
Do we do it politely?
No.
I didn't realize it was politely.
Well, I come in the morning and then I don't have a seat.
You can always come in my office, man. The more the merrier. We have like 18 people in there already. So your mom watches the show. That's pretty cool. But how did you get in the game industry? You got a pretty interesting story there. What happened? How did you decide to do this?
Well, because I speak German.
Well, then why don't you tell the answer to how you got in the game industry in German? In Deutsch.
On the spot? Man, all right.
Well, if you said...
My German might be a little rusty.
That's okay. Mine is horrible. I won't know what you're saying.
All right. Okay, so... it's really rusty, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
I don't even know how to start.
It's so rusty that if you don't want to do it, it's okay. We won't have to.
Yeah, let's not do it. It's just... That's a lot of thinking that I'm not capable of.
Right, then there's a question. So you lived in Germany till you were 16, right?
Yeah.
And you graduated from the high school in Germany.
Yeah.
Now, when you live in Germany, are you dreaming in German or are you dreaming in English? And then how long does it take when you come back to the USA to switch over to English?
I think it depends on what country the dream is in.
Oh, so it's
if I'm in Germany, then I'll be speaking German. Or if I'm with German friends in the dream, then I might speak German.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So I've always wondered that because I mostly, I do some Spanish and English, but I don't dream in Spanish. Unless it's like, Margarita. Margarita, señorita. Just kidding, honey. That's just a total joke. So you had to take a pay decrease when you took your first job in the industry.
Yeah. I talked it over with my special lady friend and made sure we could handle it because I was making pretty good money where I was at, and but it was not industry related whatsoever. Right. So I was trying to get into the industry, and this QA position popped up.
You came through QA.
Yeah, and because of my German language skills, that's what kind of got me in. And then I worked my way up from there. But yeah, it was like 60% or something like that decrease in pay.
Oh, so, I did the same thing. I went from computer sales years ago, and Chris pulled me into Origin Systems, and I had to convince my wife that taking a 60% pay decrease was a good idea. And, I think that's kind of reminiscent of a lot of people here at Cloud Imperium is we're here kind of because we love games.
Yeah, you gotta love it. I mean, all the work you have to put into, and you have to be fully in it, or else, Right.
And now you're what, 52? How old are you?
Come on, I'm 49.
You're not 49. No, that's not true. How old are you really?
I'm 29.
29, but you got the gray. So there's an interesting story. You when you met your wife's father, we questioned your age, right?
Yeah, he wanted to see ID and all that.
He wanted to see your ID?
I thought he was joking, but he wasn't. He wanted to make sure I'm not
like,
robbing
show
the
me that
cradle.
ID.
Yeah.
And so did you show him your ID?
Yeah, I did. And he's big. I almost.
Yeah.
I didn't want to mess with him.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? Right.
Yeah.
And so your name, we got to get to your name, Daniel Craig. I mean, now that James Bond is sitting next to me, you get a lot. Do you get a lot of that?
I do now that he's Bond. I mean, he's been an actor for a while, but people didn't really. Normally, like you go in the doctor's office, the old lady behind the counter doesn't know James Bond or doesn't know Daniel Craig. But now that he's James Bond, everybody is like,
So
oh,
do you
you're
think they get excited, like they see Daniel Craig coming in, and they want to know if it's the Daniel Craig, and it is the Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I got that a lot when I started here. Everybody was excited, and then they're like, "This is Daniel Craig," and they're like, "Oh, I thought it was a different Daniel Craig."
Now, some YouTube comments though said some stuff about it. Though.
Oh yeah. The first, the third day I was working for you guys. I was still contracted at the time, and we did a mocap shoot.
Yep.
I did an interview. That was our very first mocap shoot. And in the interview, they had a little show at the bottom, Daniel Craig. And then all the top YouTube comments were like, Daniel Craig really let himself go. I was like, oh
man! But you're working out.
Yeah, I was. Well, I was at the time. I kind of since I started working, now it's kind of going down again. But.
Well, your beard is inspiring. This is Movember. You're already there, obviously, but Movember is like when, for male health awareness, we grow our beards out for a month. So we'll see how long. I think I'm 6 days in or whatever. You're what?
I'm really aware.
You're 2 days in.
Yeah. I shaved last weekend.
Yeah, right. You grow it really, really fast. So what are you going to be doing for us? That's what they want to know. You're going to be operating the mocap studio, correct?
Pretty much.
It's one of the things.
Yeah, handling a lot of the mocap studio, setting it up, running the stuff, recording, handling the shots, dealing with actors, just, working with Brian a lot.
Yeah, how's that Brian guy?
I don't know.
Considering you're sitting right there.
Brian who?
That Brian guy.
Can I tell them? Just nod at me. No, yeah, he straps me into this if I act up and zaps me. No, he's awesome.
He's a great guy.
He knows so much, and that's one of the things I love about working here is so many talented people, and since I'm fairly new to the business, so much I can learn. So.
Well, the funny thing is you just nailed it, and don't sell yourself short. You are one of the talented people, which is why you're here working for us, and we love everything you're doing for us. And the audience out there is going to really, really love seeing all these animations that you and Brian and Jay Brushwood, who's the new guy that's coming on. So we're building the animation team up, aren't we, Brian? Woohoo! Woohoo! Brian's tired of being the only guy.
Can I cheer, Brian?
Yeah, sure.
Yay!
No, man, you can cheer anybody you want. All right, well, listen, I want to thank you for joining us. Thanks a lot out there to subscribers and pledgers. Special thanks to subscribers. You guys allow us to make the show, and you allow us to put out things like Jump Point and all this kind of stuff. Without you, there is no us, and we truly appreciate that. Coming up this week, we have a Veterans Day sale. Your only chance to get the F-7A military version of the Hornet. By the way, 50% of the proceeds will go to a charity called Play to Give Back to Veterans. More details will be up on the comm link, so check it out. And if you want to get that Hornet, you want to upgrade. If you're not really into charities, there'll be a way to use credits to get that too. But if you are, support the charity. 50% goes to it's a good cause. Thanks a lot. Hangar and dogfighting is going on, man. The dogfighting charge is being led by Chris out in the Santa Monica office. They're busy working on all that stuff. The Hangar charge is being led here in the Austin office. We're working on what we can do in the Hangar. We've got a big update called PBR coming up, which we'll tell you a little bit later. It's going to probably slow down some of the Hangar patch releases because we have it's a big change we have to do, but we'll give you a little more details on that. Office lease signing. Oh, man. Please, does anybody in here want a new office?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so we're just waiting on the consent of the landlord. We're this close, and if that happens, 30 days later, we'll be in the new spot. Summits. It's Summit Week. We have an AI summit going on next week. We have a lighting summit. This is where groups of teams, because we're dispersed around the world, get together, get their ducks in a row, and make sure that they go down the same path. You know, we have that style guide for the art side. We also create these Bibles or diaries for how lighting works and how AI is going to work and things of that nature. So they're all important. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get a little, whenever something comes up live on YouTube, you'll get first notice, you'll get first crack, and you'll be alerted, and you can join in and find out what's going on inside Cloud Imperium. Submit your questions to the RSI forum. Hopefully Michael put something up right about here. That's where you get your questions in every week, and that's what drives this show, the forum feedback. Also, if you wanted to see a little bit more, we have Wingman's Hangover coming up about 15 minutes after the show. That's where, you know, we interact directly through chat roll on our website. Chat roll is going to eventually, very soon, going to be much bigger, so there'll be more than 500 people able to get in there. We answer questions directly. We take Skype calls. We just have a good old time, and it's kind of secret. What happens in chat roll stays in chat roll. And remember, if you want your stuff featured on Wingman's Hangar, send it in. We just might use it. Where are we going to see them?
In the
verse.